Blog Talk Radio.
Cherokee Billy is a spiritual advisor and certified animal communicator who has been guiding people on their sacred path for nearly 40 years. Her ability to hone in on her clients' needs has made her one of the most sought-after spiritual advisors in the country. With Cherokee Billy's guidance, you can take the first steps or refine your journey along your sacred path. Before we get going, we ask that you do your part. Have your one question ready, keep it concise, and stay on topic. One concise, on-topic question. And now, here's Cherokee Billy. Hello, it's Cherokee Billy. I'm here today with my dear friend Ray, and we're here to talk about the upcoming blue moon, a supermoon. Hi, Ray. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Still breathing.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I wonder sometimes, but yes, I'm still breathing and here. And, I had somebody write a comment on my article on my website on the blue moon. They said they had read quite a few, but I was the only one that said, how to use it, how to work with it, what to do. So it shows that people really want to know what to do who are into astrology or just wanting to work with the elements. And, anytime you got a moon, full moon, new moon, quarter moon, any moon, it's always good to work with them.
And you got to remember when you're doing the blue moon and you're talking, you're trying to figure stuff out. You always got to make sure you protect yourself.
Yes, our subject of last week, always use spiritual protection, God's white light and the blue light. Hey, we're back to blue. The blue light of Archangel Michael for protection. Blue's got a lot of meaning, the color of blue. I was looking it up. I'll get to it in a minute. But I wanted to I was looking through some of the things, because the emotions are going to be often heightened, especially around the blue moon. It just seems to cause more things to happen. Any thoughts with that, Ray?
Well, yeah, I definitely know that you could tell coming up to the blue moon, that things are happening. Let's hope and pray that it's good for everybody. But I could feel my feelings on certain things getting stronger daily. And things that I'm seeing and things like that, that I'm seeing more than what I normally do.
And the reason is, 3 days prior to the blue moon or any full moon, the emotions get heightened. So we're right at that stage where, hey, things are going to start turning. And some people are, like yourself, already being affected by it. And it's important to learn, hey, what do I do? Well, number one, like you said, protect yourself. Know that anything that's coming at you, you can easily get it deflected through the white light of God. Plain and simple.
Correct. And I mean, he's not going to lead you astray. Only the, as I call them, the bad guys, they want to lead you astray, but not God or the angels. They will never lead you astray.
Yeah, when people sometimes are directed or hear voices and stuff, if it's telling you to do something that's very negative, it's definitely not a voice from God. And that's important for people to remember. One of the ways you can know, because the angels, God, the divine, is never going to lead you in a bad way.
Right. And
never.
They only want good for you anyhow. They don't want you to harm you. They only want to circle you with good things and love and stuff like that.
Exactly. And how this moon came about, having the name blue moon. Blue moon means 2 full moons in 1 month. That's really all it is, but it doesn't happen often. It's about every 2.5 years. So it is a rare thing, and it was Shakespeare who came up with the term once in a blue moon.
So that's how so much of Shakespeare comes into our daily language that we don't know. But let me give you a little rundown on the color blue. It's a very powerful color, as I mentioned, and it is the color of Archangel Michael. And it's often used to obtain wisdom, harmony, inner light, peace, confers truth, and guidance. So the color blue can work on all these things. Other things it can help with is healing, sleep, creativity, perception, calming, wisdom, truth, loyalty, dreams, and the examination of emotions. Some say it represents the Divine Mother. So that gives you a rundown of the blue moon and its importance.
Well, we all know that in this day and age, loyalty is tough to come by. With everything going on, peace and happiness is also tough to come by. But I mean, if you look at things and the way things are, happiness and could only come from God.
Yeah, very true. Everything that we're talking about usually goes back to God, the Creator, the Divine Spirit, whatever name you use. I always just like the term God, but it all goes back to the Creator of everything. That's the good of the world and the good of, again, the white light, why it's here, what it's about, the white light, and we're talking about, again, the blue moon. And remember, it is the second full moon of a month. That's why it's so rare and important. Yeah, rare and important. So remember to think about this. This is occurring on the 30th and 31st, depending on where you are in the world, but it's occurring, of course, worldwide. Everything affects the entire world. So try and do something special for it. I've talked about the color blue. See if you can get blue candles, light some blue candles. Do something that makes you feel you've participated in this astrological event.
And keep looking at everything in a positive note versus what you hear on TV or read on a computer or on your phone. Because there's so much negativity out there right now in the whole world. Keep it positive.
Truth. Yes, we need to know of events happening in the world for sure. Like, there's a hurricane down by Florida. Certain events we need to know, but I don't read the news very often. I get a summary sent to me where it just shows me the key headlines, and that is enough for me sometimes. So I don't spend so much time because it's pretty negative, most of the news.
Right. I mean, it's always this one's doing that. It's this one's fault. It's that one's fault. There's too much, like you said, negativity, and it's all baloney.
Yes, and, some of it's just too overwhelming. Things that are such big disasters, like the episodes, what's happened in Maui, the shootings that are occurring daily. It is hard. So that's why I'm saying try and just keep yourself informed enough without delving into every single thing. It will help you. Now, there is a caller on the line. I hope they're calling about the blue moon. So let me bring this person on. Hello, this is Cherokee Billy.
I'm Cherokee Tina. Yes, ma'am. Is the blue moon related to the wolf from the Native Indians? I know something about the Native Indians with the blue moon.
Well,
you give that
many
information?
moons kind of relate to the wolf. Let's just say, I can't say from a Native American standpoint, but many people find the blue moons to be linked to the wolf. I don't really know why. If I knew, I'd tell you, but I don't. Okay.
One more thing. Could it be related to the ocean as well?
No, it's definitely not related to that. I don't know how Shakespeare, as I said, is the one who came up with the name. I don't know why he called it a blue moon. I have absolutely no idea. I wish I knew those. Never thought of looking those questions up to put in, my articles or videos. But just know that it's a very rare thing. It's a positive thing. The energy is there for you to use for your good, like I brought up about the color blue. So just use it. And many people always associate every full moon with a wolf, because of howling at the moon. And if that's what feels good to you, put the wolf in your thoughts with it.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
thank you. It's good to hear from you. And thank you so much for calling. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Stay on, though. Don't
Well,
keep listening.
what?
I told her, I said, stay on, keep listening.
Oh, yes. Well, she usually does. Tina is one of the few people who calls in regularly. But there is another caller. I wish I could have answered her questions, but I just don't know the answers. All I know is what I do, what I'm stating here. Anyway, we have another person calling in. Hello,
All
this
right.
is Cherokee Billy. Hello? If you're there, maybe you don't want to
Hello?
talk, but that's okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hello? Yes. I wasn't sure
Yes,
if it was me or someone else. Hi.
hello. And your
Hello?
name?
My name is Maddie. I
Hello,
just tuned
Maddie, and
in.
thank you for calling in.
Thank you. I just tuned in and I got a tidbit of what you're talking about, the blue moon. And I think the
Correct.
other young lady, I think you answered that question for me, how to stay positive and the whole thing about during this time. Wow.
It's true. And, my article link is here on this description of this program, and you can read it. Also, just go to CherokeeBillySpiritualAdvisor.com, click on blog, and it's the first article right now, as well as a video, which gives a lot more information.
Okay, fantastic. Are you answering any questions today, or just doing a
I try to
dialogue?
stick to the topic.
Okay,
That's
I
what we're
got
going
you.
with. So if you
Okay.
can, call in another time or check out my services. I have many types, and it's very thorough and also reasonable.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But I
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate your calling in. Thank you so
No.
much.
Yeah. Thank you again. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that
I
was
could
a
definitely,
good question.
I could definitely say
Go ahead.
that you're very good at what you do, and I mean I know from firsthand experiences things that I have been through with you, and just things that I've seen that I would have never even thought about seeing. So yes, I mean, you are reasonable. You're not. Some people, they always go by
Charging
a minute.
hundreds of dollars.
Right, a
Yes,
minute.
by the minute. Well, I did
So,
a energy work on a cat today and communication, and the lady was saying she went through looking through many animal communicators, and they were over 100, every one of them, and I'm under that.
wow.
So it
Yeah.
shows my pricing is reasonable, on everything, and I do love working with animals. That's an absolute fact. They're wonderful. There's so much knowledge and wisdom in the animals. It's amazing. And it
Well,
doesn't
you
matter
work with
what type.
you work with animals one way. I work with animals another way.
Well, yes, but you're very connected to animals as well.
Yeah.
We both
Yeah.
really are. Another thing, that's why the wolf is associated with the full moons. And just take the energy of the wolf, which is important, as wolves have been they are exterminated in parts of Europe completely. So it's important, if nothing else, to honor the wolf's spirit, because it's not all evil, like many people think. But
Right.
some of the things you can do now. Again, any type of ritual that you may have or ceremony, and of course protection. Always do these things. You know, do a ceremony. As I mentioned, blue candles would be great, but any color candle, light and do prayers. You can write out what your intentions are, coming up what you want from now to the end of the year. Write it out and say a prayer, something, over it so that you know what's coming forward and what you've asked for, and expect to see things change. Don't just put it out and think, well, I've tried. I guess that's that. No, expect it and give thanks for what you've got, even before you've gotten it. Go ahead.
It's like I said many times, you ask for stuff. It's not like you're going to get it within the next 10 minutes or the next day. You will get it. The Creator's time is not our time. His little twitch is, 50 years. So his time is not our time. So it'll come in his time, not our time. Even though we want it to come in our time, that's not the way it works.
No, it isn't. And that's the hard one. That's where your faith has to come in, a belief that things will change and that God is paying attention, even if it doesn't seem like it. Trust that he is. One thing to do in this time to improve, again, the blue moon's all about abundance and prosperity. So remember to use this energy. It could improve your luck. Like, hey, if you want to play the lotto, it'd be a good day to do it on the 30th, 31st. Good time. Abundance is around the blue moon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't all the time mean that you're going to hit the lottery. And whether you believe it or not, the Creator does have a sense of humor. Let me hit the lottery. Well, he may give you $10. You didn't say, hey, but he does have a sense of humor.
I wanted $1 million.
Yeah. So, he has a sense of humor, and he's good. He knows what he's doing. Or some people believe she, but the Creator knows what they're doing, and he's doing. I'm going to say he because I think it's a he, but that's a personal thing.
Correct. Everyone views it differently. But yes, and, again, trust, believe that things are changing. And again, work with the energy of a full moon. There's so much you can do, like I keep mentioning, prayers, rituals, ceremonies. You can do these things. It's going to help. Anytime you give, let's say, some sort of honor to God or the angels or whoever it may be, you're going to see some differences because they like being remembered and acknowledged. And again, the moon is bringing energies closer. The veil between our world and the spirit world, it becomes thinner at a full moon, and there's more spiritual activity, more paranormal activity in general. That's one of the things I have on my Facebook page coming up on the day of the full moon is, do you believe in paranormal activity being activated on the full moon? Well, it basically is, because the veil is thinner. So yes, it is, but it's not something to freak out and be scared of. Paranormal activity could be your deceased parent coming to you. It doesn't mean it's going to be something evil and wicked. People get confused by the word paranormal. Paranormal activity is anything coming from the spirit world, a deceased loved one. And again, they're not coming to haunt you. They're there for encouragement or to let you know that they're still around you, which, Ray, you can talk a bit about your mother. I always find it fascinating.
How
it comes to you.
I was just going to say, with my mom has been with me more than I can shake stick at. She had passed back in '68, and I've seen
when
her
you were just a young man.
Correct. I was like 16 when she passed, and she got buried on her on my 17th birthday.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, it was a whole different thing. I've seen my mom when I was in the hospital in 19. I've seen my mom after that. I mean, she was standing right there in front of me. Now, I mean, I can't, go up and shake her hand or anything like that, but I have seen her. In 2019, the nurse come back in the next day, and she asked me, she goes, "Who are you talking to at the end of the bed?" And I went to go tell her. I says, "Never mind, you wouldn't believe me." And she goes, "No, tell me." So I told her, and she goes, "I knew you were close, but I didn't think you were that close." I mean, it was just
over.
Yeah. And I mean, at different times throughout my life, if I didn't physically see her, I could feel her. I could always feel her around me. And with other people that I know the woman that I was going to marry, I see her a good bit. And I mean, it's when Billy took me into the spirit world, I saw my stepdad, which surprised the heck out of me, because I didn't figure that he'd be where he is. And so I mean, go ahead.
I want to interrupt. Like you said, you were surprised to see your stepfather. I remember the event. I do a special service called Guided Journey into Spirit, in which I do take people into the spirit world. And that's what I did with Ray. And, again, his stepfather came through, because you don't know who on the other side may have messages for you, who may be there waiting. It may not be your mother or your father. It may be some other relative or someone else you knew. And it was for Ray in that particular time we were there.
Right. I mean, it was, I saw him like he was 20 feet in front of me, and I'm saying, "Hi, how you doing?" He did ask me certain things, for forgiveness, basically, and I said, "It's no sense of holding grudges, because it's not going to do you any good." But I have seen, I've seen, different people here and there, so. I mean, I used to work in a casino, and a lady come up, and she's talking to me. She walked up, she looked at me, and she stood in front of my table. I was a dealer at the time, and I'm talking to her, and I mean, I just basically, "Hi, how you doing?" And if it wasn't my grandmother had a twin. So,
wow,
and I didn't know that she.
Amazing.
I don't think, all the people that I know, they look like her, but this woman was a spitting image of her.
It probably was, or I don't think it was a mistake. They do come in weird ways.
And she was there to tell me something. At that time, I wasn't into things like I am now.
Spiritually,
but, yeah, but I mean, it was still there. I mean, I still saw her, and she just walked away.
Well, they do pay attention to us, even though we may not feel, sense, or hear from them. One episode I've had with my mother that was really astounding was, I have many framed pictures of my family, and one's a very heavy frame with her picture when she was young. And a woman came in, and my mother, I know it was her, that picture, heavy frame, flew 6 feet across the room. And the woman who had come in said, "What was that?" I go, "Well, a spirit is here." Her eyes got real big, and she was afraid. But my mother was trying to warn me about this woman, and she did turn out to be a very big problem in my life. She knew something I didn't, was trying to get my attention. And she did. I mean, I knew exactly that it was her because it was her picture. And she had believed very much in life after death and spirituality. So I know it was her. Again,
Well,
that
that
woman,
was
what happened proved it. Go ahead.
that was like when I was in the hospital. You know, when I'm seeing my mom, my grandmother, and Trish. You know, when my grandmother says, you know, come on, we'll take care of you, or she said, come on, no problem, we'll take care of you. Trish said it was up to me, and my mom said, it's not your time yet. And I mean, and the doctor told me afterwards that if I would have been any other place but where I was, I wouldn't be here talking right now.
Yes, I remember. I had been on the phone with you shortly before that. I was very concerned.
Right.
I didn't think you were going to make it because you were in bad shape. But, you know, here you are, and stronger and better in more ways than you were before. Amazing.
Yep.
You know, you're here for a purpose.
It's like the old $6 million man. They can rebuild me.
Yeah, they did. Hey,
Yeah.
now if they only would have given you a brain, we would have seen a big difference.
Well, they said
left
I got
out
to be a
that part.
scarecrow once in a while.
Yeah, well, I think you prove it a lot. Can't help but tear you down, you know, with humor. Again, Ray's a very smart guy. I just have to make jokes. Can't help it. You know, we're coming up a few minutes here. No other callers, but I hope that whoever is listening to this program, that you do pay attention to the blue moon and that you do something special. Again, the color blue, very important. Archangel Michael. Well, the most number one archangel is Michael. No one's above him except Jesus. So you think about the power he's got. It is enormous. That's why protecting yourself with God's white light and Archangel Michael's blue light, you got double protection. It takes a lot to penetrate those two layers. And you can keep yourself in a better place.
It's like you said before, the veil is thin. And some of the things that I've been seeing, and I think that veil is washed real thin for me, because I see stuff, that I would say the last few years I've been seeing stuff more. I mean, it's like I'm sitting here and I'm looking I'm looking across the room and I see whatever I see, and I just shake my head and I'm going, well, you know what? You're here, and you want me to see something good, and it's and I believe if the veil wasn't as thin, I would never see anything like that.
Well, I understand, and again, I know how much and how gifted you are with all this. It's quite amazing just to let people know. You know, Ray has a rare ability that you don't see often with people, and he wasn't trying to get it. It just happened as he did his spiritual work, studying, practicing, learning. You know, it doesn't come easily. People think that spiritual gifts are just there. They are, but you've got to learn how to work and use them. And if you don't, then you're going to be going, well, I don't get it. I never could get anything. It has to do with your intentions. You're wanting to discover and learn like Ray did. Now, we're coming down to the last minute here, Ray. So anything you want to share with people, please do.
The only thing I got to say is just, keep things positive, and surround yourself with the white light and the blue light. And all the time. It doesn't matter whether you're having coffee in the morning, supper at night, or going to bed or getting up first thing in the morning. Always make sure you thank the Creator for what He has done and what He has given you, and putting you on the wake-up list.
Yeah, good point. Wake up. And we do need to stay spiritually awake and know that things can happen better in our lives, even though it may be challenging at times. There is a difference if you turn to the one who can make a difference, and keep remembering that. And please use this blue moon energy to help yourself. And again, you can go to my website, CherokeeBillySpiritualAdvisor.com. You can read the article, watch the video, and see many of my services. Please support my show, this program, by choosing one of them. Anyway, thank you, Ray. We're out of
Thank
here
you.
for today. God bless.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye.